Hi, everybody. I'm Steve, here again with Jesse Townsend. Jesse's at Parkway Athletic Club in Reno, Nevada. Check him out online. It's a really cool club. If you want to reach out to me, you can get me at stevemain.com. Jesse, welcome. Thanks for being here again.
Yeah, man, great to be back, Steve. Thank you.
So let me ask a question, because I know you have a lot of clients in multiple health clubs, and this is such a common, I don't want to say question or just thought about what should you do? Is this good? Is this bad? But soreness, is it good if I'm really, really sore the day after or 2 days after? What if I get sore one day after? What if my soreness peaks from doing squats 3 days after? What should I do? Should I continue that? Should I change my workout? What do you think about that? People obviously they feel that their muscles have been worked and they feel them being sore. What do you say to people about this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of speculation on the soreness thing. There's people who will tell you, and health professionals even like myself, that'll tell people, like kind of like the old saying is, you're not really getting anything accomplished unless you're sore. I hear a lot of that, and I have a lot of clients that ask this kind of a question when they come into it, regarding soreness, especially people who are not used to it, haven't done, like a regimented fitness training program. They haven't had, resistance training be a portion of any sort of their lifestyle necessarily on a consistent basis. So, there's a few different answers. I think there's not exactly, this is not like a black and white type of a thing. I think there's some gray in this. Number one, like the thing that, takes effect in the body and what should happen for a soreness as far as when it should occur after you do a resistance training, workout, right? So you should be sore about 24 hours after, and it's called DOMS, right? So delayed onset of muscle soreness. So if you trained properly, and then I'll explain a little bit behind why this is considered the proper training, for the soreness that you basically achieve, I guess, on the other end of the training. So this DOMS theory is basically some science behind, how your body is being broken down as far as the tissues and fibers and creating these micro tears when we exercise and we use weights or, whatever type of resistance training we're applying to our body. So again, that's 24 hours after. So you work out your legs or you work out your upper body in about a day after you do that workout. So you do it at 5 p.m. at night after work or whatever it may be. Next day around that time, it should be feeling some soreness, right? You should be able to, be in that, feel that area, be a little bit sore. And then you get into these questions of, like we're talking about, kind of how sore, should it be, if you move, you're in, pain where you're wincing. Should I, not be able to, operate a vehicle? Can I sit down when I have to use the restroom? I would say certainly you're not trying to achieve soreness at that level, and then there's a couple facets in that too, right? So athletes, people that are training at very high levels, some of these workouts that they have to do to prepare for certain things might make them a little bit overly sore, trying to test and see kind of where they're at in different phases of their training. But for the average person, and that's what I deal with the most at this point in my career, I don't really promote or try to promote a program that's consistent with a ton of soreness. It's not necessarily true, in my opinion, that soreness equals you, hitting the pinnacle of your exercise, program during the workouts. I don't think that's how it works. The science will tell you that, again, the soreness is your body just, starting to recover and you feeling these micro tears and these areas that are a little bit, touchy after you exercise them. But so soreness, good or bad, again, can be either. Too much soreness, I believe that's not a great thing, right? And if it lasts too long, so if you're sore for days at a time, one thing that I'm telling my clients, and we're talking about, if they're sore after we do some strength training or resistance training and it lasts for, 3 days or 4 days, and they're coming back to me, that much later and saying, Jesse, I couldn't, I couldn't even walk up my stairs. I couldn't move my legs. It was uncomfortable. I'm letting them know, hey, that's not what we're trying to achieve. A couple of things could happen. We possibly overtrained, right, for where we're at in the program. That doesn't happen too often, while being led by a professional, but it can. Some people are able to push themselves a little bit harder than others mentally when you begin a program with them, and that puts them in that area. The other part is too, how are you recovering? So the recovery thing comes in big. Are you doing, any kind of pre-program for your resistance training concerning nutrition? And are you doing, like a post-program? Are you getting enough of these proteins? Are you getting enough of these, raw, decent sugars to kind of, stimulate and activate this insulin effect? So at the end of your workout, when you're trying to repair with proteins, is using those as like a shuttle or a transport system and allowing you to digest them a little bit quicker. So recovery is the thing that is questioned along that same line if you're sore for too long.
Yeah, nutrition is very important with that, getting the right protein and everything. So what do you think? What if I do a leg workout and it's time for me to do my legs again in the rotation of my workout and it's still sore? Should I work through it? Should I go lighter? Should I just ignore the soreness? What do you think?
So I've seen different approaches on this too, and in this, I'm going to go with the way that I do it, and how I deal with my customers or clients after this many years of seeing what really works and seeing what really ultimately motivates them for longevity of what we call like a lifestyle change. I don't promote so much, these short-term kind of fixes. When I talk to people, I'm discussing real permanent changes and, how can we implement some of these ideals as a lifestyle and keep going with it. So that being considered, I don't usually have people or teach people to train when they're sore. It's not necessarily that I believe on a physiological level that they're, going to do something as far as not be able to gain the muscle or, have some kind of a negative effect always. Minor soreness, from exercise, if you gave it, they say for upper body, 48 hours of recovery is about the time frame that you go by. And for lower body, for legs, the bigger muscle groups, quads, hamstrings, glutes, they say that's about a 72-hour recovery. So if it's been those 2 days on the upper and the 3 days on the lower, exceptions I have, core, even through some soreness, I probably will work people through on core a little bit different. That's more of an endurance trained muscle group. Calves are one of those endurance trained muscle groups. And not that everybody trains forearms so much, but forearms too get used quite a bit. So more of an endurance trained muscle group too, as we kind of see it. So do I have people right now train through soreness? The answer would be no. And it's not necessarily because I think it's going to have a big negative effect on their body physiological level, but I don't want them mentally, if they're not in this kind of a mindset where they want to learn how to push through a soreness that can be a little bit uncomfortable. I want to promote, again, health and wellness and some of these bigger things. And so for me to ask a client who's trying to just get comfortable in some approaches at, how can I do this on a daily basis and feel positive about it? I don't think it's probably the best thing for me to, teach them, hey, don't worry how that feels. It's okay if you're in pain. You're gonna live. You'll be all right. No pain, no gain. I'm not too big on all of those at this point in time. I find that people do a lot better with some positive reinforcement and teaching them these healthy mental strategies and just being in their corner and promoting again health and wellness over kind of like, I guess this would be the more of like a bodybuilder's, strategy to some extent of learning how to work through soreness,
That is a great point. And also I want to point out to our viewers an excellent answer from a very good experienced trainer, which is Jesse, because we don't want to discourage people from exercising. And, the no pain, no gain, I don't like that, especially as people get older. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to feel that. And we don't want people saying exercise is not worth it. It hurts. No, exercise is supposed to feel good. And
Yeah.
so that's just an excellent point that you made there at the end about we want to encourage people. We want them to feel good in the gym, or whether they're exercising, going for a hike, or whatever it is. We don't want them to stop. And if
Yeah.
it hurts and it hurts too long and we're going to do it again and again and again, people aren't stupid. They're going to go, I don't like this. I'm going back to my couch. So thanks for your input on that, Jesse. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more about, just some of the things that you coach and teach your clients. So, Jesse, thanks for being with us. Jesse, Parkway Athletic Club in Reno, Nevada. It's at South Lake or it's in South Reno. So go say hi to him. Jesse, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Steve. All right, man. I'll see you guys soon.